and perhaps a quick spin up of a tornado. So that severe thunderstorm warning goes until 11:45. Let's cross south along this line. There we've got Lebanon, Brownsburg, Avon, Plainfield. So heavy rain, gusty winds, maybe a little hail starting to move in here, and will eventually make its way toward downtown Indianapolis. 15, 20 minutes or so.
Because they are moving so fast off to the north and east.
I am live for anybody who wants to join me.
Section here of rotation with that storm that Sean was monitoring right over Martinsville. So with live Doppler 13 radar kind of highlighting that area right over Martinsville.
There is a tornado in Kokomo.
Not showing a lot, but again, when we get this signature, it indicates at least that potential. And then we're going to monitor this storm as it moves northeast.
If you're on with me, I'm here watching the weather in
Barkersville, Trafalgar, Franklin,
they've got
Needham,
a tornado in Kokomo right now.
Under tornado warning at this hour because of this fast-moving storm. And let's come out just a little bit.
There's tornadoes and bad storms all over Indiana right now.
It's right over Martinsville.
So I've seen and jumped on so that we can all be together.
Across southern Johnson County, including New Whiteland.
This is Indiana. This is not me.
County, now under a tornado warning.
So right now, Andrea is in her
history, at least from what we've
basement hunkered down. They've got a tornado 2 miles away.
Damage with that debris signature. The tornado warning goes until midnight.
So I'm keeping in contact with her. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so that we all can hear each other. Trying to congregate here and pray for all of our people in Indiana and across the United States who are getting hit with these storms.
Kind of declared this day a weather-aware day, and we saw these storms.
Okay, so Jinx says he thinks the worst is past in Lafayette.
And now this line is moving across the state of Indiana, bringing with it the potential of damaging winds.
I know that it's just going into.
And I have a feeling, Sean, the National Weather Service is going to have several areas to serve
Madison County
tomorrow or in the coming days, as we most likely have.
Yep, Frank's in the path also of these storms.
Yeah, you know, and some of it they'll definitely know because of the radar signatures that we've been showing.
As soon as I get an update from Andrea, I'll let you know.
It'll just be a matter of how much damage was done, what type of damage. They'll start to rate it. Some of it they'll have to
these storms are not to be messed with.
We didn't have the confirmed radar.
We definitely need to have everybody.
Have to go in and kind of see these.
Okay, Frank's in Johnson County.
Of damage. Emergency manager reported some trees down, not a shock. Around, let me see that was in the Kokomo.
Be careful, Jinx.
400 west, 300 south in Howard County. I apologize, not necessarily the Kokomo. But, so that's not a surprise. I will say that the tornado threat for Kokomo is over. So it doesn't take long. And I'd argue the severe threat is starting to diminish there as well, because we've been talking all evening long just about the fast movement. Between 60 and 70 miles per hour. They're going to be in Ohio here. At this rate, by 1 a.m. So,
all right. Mike's in Baker County.
Behind it, the severe threat is over. Unfortunately, that is not the case.
So how is the weather by everyone that is in Indiana right now?
The supercell, it's been a long track supercell. It's produced multiple tornadoes, and it's still showing a hook on radar. And we've got a lot of heavily populated cities in front of it. So that concerns me. Yeah, pop it up. Yeah, pop it up. So this is I-6. This is NDOT camera. This is I-69.
Ooh, that does not look good.
That's Martinsville.
Martinsville.
Martinsville now is within the line of storms. So we've talked about that there would be a line. That's what it's in now. No more than half hour ago was in the supercell that caused the tornado warning. It still has the tornado warning.
So if you're in Martinsville, start taking cover.
Go back to live Doppler 13 radar, and you can see why. So that's the line of storms that's over Martinsville now. And I'm going to take the lightning off just so we can do a little more analysis. I want to get in with this storm here. And I'm telling you, friends, Bargersville, Trafalgar, the rotation within this supercell may stay just to your north, close enough that stay in your safe spot. But if you are in Franklin, if you are in Bargersville, you need to be in your safe. You should have already been there, but you need to be in your safe location.
All right, so Bargersville, Franklin, be in your safe place.
That concerns me because, again, it's in an area that's favorable for this supercell to continue to produce tornadoes. There's still a lot of wind shear, and so that I'm showing you that circulation right there. And so my wife just sent me a text. I thought I heard the sirens, Angela, and I did. So my wife just sent me a text, and this is good because we'll all go through this. She said, "Are the sirens going off for us? We live downtown Indianapolis. Do I need to wake up the kids?" And so the answer to that is that I don't think I'm going to have her wake the kids up per se, but it is for what happened is there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued that includes Marion County, and because we're in a tornado watch, that's why the sirens are going off.
Yep. So if you're in these counties, please take cover.
I'll have to call it back, but that this is just a great tool to kind of learn with this here. So Bargersville, Franklin. Safe locations with this storm. Let's double check and make sure that we're not getting any.
So Greene, Hamilton, Hancock, Harrison, Hendricks, Henry, Howard, Jackson, Jefferson, Jennings, Johnson, Knox. Please take cover.
Through at minimum the north side of Franklin, and possibly we're going to be talking about New Whiteland. And that when I say that, because of the speed of these storms, that will happen in less.
Yeah, that happens with these storms.
This is going to be really fast.
We're getting reports of, I consider a trusted source on Twitter, the Kokomo scanner. Perhaps some damage near the Kokomo area. So I've sent that on to the newsroom so that we can either confirm that, or, perhaps it's an area that we visit tomorrow if in fact it does appear that we have some damage. So just be aware. This is a long line, a large area of severe storms with embedded wind damage potential, embedded tornado potential, and we have seen it happen over the last couple of hours.
All right, so I'm going to turn the volume down here so I can talk. Dee is keeping you guys updated on counties that this is going to start hitting. Ooh, look at these pictures. Overturned semi.
Ashley. Okay, so this is going to be in Clinton County.
So this is out of Clinton County.
On the side of the road. Boy, it's so hard to see, and it really is just so dangerous.
But, yeah, if you need to go in the bathtub, go in the bathtub. Go to a safe area.
So I checked the Kokomo Scanner's Twitter feed, and in fact, they were reporting that. So let's go there, Sean. I'll let you do the debris stuff and find that if we're picking up on any of that.
Yeah. So
this radar is nasty.
This we're looking at that donut there. Again, that's the radar picking up objects that are likely being locked in either by.
All right, we got tornado sirens in Indy right now. Take cover if you're in Indy.
And so that puts it close to Greentown, and then now near Sycamore. So not a complete surprise. Probably had a tornado that's been embedded within that line there. And east of Kokomo now. If you're watching in Marion, I would be in your safe spot.
Yeah, if you're in Marion, any of these areas, Lancaster, LaFontaine, Huntington.
With that radar confirmed tornado.
Please be in your safe
So we'll kind of
spots.
do a reset. Sean will continue to analyze live Doppler 13 radar, looking for these pockets of debris.
Andrea is
looking for areas
okay.
of
She's
rotation.
got damage
We have this long
about a
line of
mile
severe
from
storms
her.
moving now across the eastern half of the state. I'd say we have another hour and a half before we're completely in the clear. But I also want to caution you, we're not going to be done with this storm system yet. Once the storms end, yes, but the threat of damaging winds will continue, not associated with thunderstorms tomorrow. We're going to be dealing with 50 mile per hour winds on a saturated ground. That could mean more trees and power lines coming down. So now's the time. If you still have power, charge those cell phones. Make sure they're charged and ready to go, just in case you get a power outage. With the storms moving through now, or with that potential for strong winds tomorrow, we're going to turn much colder during the day tomorrow with those gusty winds that may in fact exceed 50 miles per hour. Not associated with thunderstorms. So let's go north because we do have new tornado warnings issued for the area northeast of Kokomo. And again, unconfirmed, but some reports that there's some damage in and around the Kokomo area. And you were one city that we've had our eyes on over the last half hour or so. That storm is now making its way just northeast of Marion, approaching Gas City, Fairmount, Elwood, but the tornado warned cell is now just to the northeast of Kokomo at this point. So while we're here, we'll check the velocities and still picking up on that potential for some rotation coming out of Howard County just west of Marion. So we're now into the western sections of Grant County as this tornado warned cell tracks north and east. And that tornado warning is going to be for the Marion area. So again, east of Kokomo. And the warning is going to go until 11:45 for you, Marion. The rotation looks to stay just west of Gas City, but Gas City, Fairmount, Hartford City, the severe potential is there as we continue.
Okay, so we've got a lot of people being affected by this, a lot of our members and subscribers. So please make sure that you have candles or flashlights available. One of the things that I do in case there's a power outage is I put some water in my bathtub so that you can at least have water to flush your toilet if need be. Frank says sirens are going off by him again. Please be safe, Frank. Please be safe. This weather is nothing to, dismiss. This is severe weather all over. And right now it's hitting Indiana. So I'm going to go on mute here. Yes, put your phone on your chargers. I'm going to go on mute here and turn the volume back up so we can listen. Sean did mention the fact that the sirens went off in Marion County. That's because we have a tornado watch and a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. And now we've got some rumbles of thunder over downtown Indianapolis. But we're highlighting here, Marion County, heavy rain starting to fall, gusty winds and small hail possible. And let's go south to that storm that we were monitoring in the Bargersville area with rotation. This one worries you. Okay. Yeah. Let me check velocities and I'll let you do some additional analysis. And it's still kind of peaking now just to the south of New Whiteland. This is approaching 31. So we're in Johnson County, just south of Greenwood, right over and south of New Whiteland. This is crossing Highway 31. So this is just to the west of Interstate 65. And we've seen some peaks there in the velocities here. So New Whiteland and Whiteland, there's 31. Here is Interstate 65, and it's tracking off to the north and east. And before we get to Sean, let's come out just a little bit. Okay, we're again mentioned Duke Energy power outages up to 22,000, 2,000 now reported in the Kokomo area. But this rotation, Red's Corner, looks like it stays north of you, Needham, but please be in the safest part of your home. This is going to track northeast into the Fairland area. So just be aware.
coming out of Johnson County and is eventually going to make its way towards Shelby County, Sean. And the velocities at this point in this little area approaching Highway 31 look pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to use a different product too. This is a way to take what you're showing, that the wind velocity data, and just kind of cleans it up to where you can narrow down. Still going off of what you were saying, and this is the long track supercell that unfortunately did not get ingested into the squall line. So it upped the odds of it producing tornadoes. Very concerned. It's over Whiteland now. And when we get our new scan, it's going to be even farther east than this, and
Okay.
very, very quickly. We know that just because of how fast they're moving. This looks like it will stay just to the north of the heart of downtown Franklin, but still strong circulation there that is going to be heading into now. So now we're going to put it into Bogstown. If Fairland, if it holds together, may stay it's going to stay. I will say that, obviously this is going to be south of Greenwood, the circulation with this, but right there crossing, what's that, Highway 30, Highway 31 there. So again, you see how fast that was.
Yeah.
Boom. So.
Okay, so these storms are moving fast, but I've got some information. If you do not have a basement, go to an inside room without windows on the lowest floor. This could be a center hallway, bathroom, or closet. Avoid taking shelter where there are heavy objects on the floor directly above you. Get under something sturdy, such as a heavy table or workbench. If possible, cover your body with a blanket, sleeping bag, or mattress, and protect your head with anything available. So these storms are severe. They're fast moving, which is good. Mike says that sirens are going off in Allen County. Yep, hang on. They're fast moving, so hopefully they'll move through quickly. We're going to go back to the broadcast here.
This is what I was afraid of.
Okay.
So now we've got the radar confirmed, or this is a confirmed tornado warning.
And we did get a little information from our own Jenny Runovich of a building collapse, Sean, in and around the Martinsville area, and reports of a tornado in progress near Fairland.
There you go. Okay.
And if you could do me a favor, because I can't see it on this little screen, will you put my roads back on my radar? I've done something wrong.
Okay.
While he does that, I'm going to get you caught up on where we have.
If you pop up, put links to behind her if you guys can. Just put links to behind her. Okay, that's all right.
But yeah, the new information coming from our own Jenny Runovich is that there was a building collapse in and around the Martinsville area, and now a confirmed tornado near the Fairland area. So we just want to make sure that you are in the safest part of your home, coming out of Johnson County, headed into Shelby County, as this cell comes out of the New Whiteland and the Whiteland area and moves quickly off to the north and east. Confirmed tornado warning that goes until midnight for this area here from Johnson County into parts of Shelby County. So just please be weather aware. It is staying just north of Franklin and north of the Franklin College area, but is tracking quickly off to the north and east. Were you able to fix my mistake?
Not yet. Hang on.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to hop on links too.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
So we will, actually, I don't know if I can do that from this computer. We'll get you caught up on where we have the storms and kind of a big view. This, as I remove the radar, you can see all of the warnings that we're dealing with now. Severe thunderstorm and tornado, confirmed tornado warnings, that new one coming out of the Franklin area that's tracking very quickly off to the north and east, and several storm reports, Sean, coming in as well.
Yeah, and you're good on links one now, so
much.
you're welcome. So yeah, we get.
Okay, so I'm getting messages from Mark. I'm getting messages from Andrea. She just said, here we go again. She is in Kokomo. Winds have picked up a bunch and rain is blowing sideways. So if you're in Kokomo, you might be getting around too. So hang on. Mike, you hang on in your area. Frank, you let us know when things are done by you. And we'll just stay here together and pray.
It's the confirmed tornado warning polygon of that same supercell that's been going for hours now. And with or without tornado damage, we still are going to get, we're still going to get pockets of destructive wind damage as well. It's just what could happen on this line, and what we've seen is that we get these pockets of enhancement with these the rotation that can form, and that's likely what happened in Kokomo. We were talking about that earlier, Angela. The concern. So this is 1113. So you can see it over Rocheville. Remember we were talking about that, and it went right through, and appears that there might have been a tightening of the rotation there.
Yeah, and we were talking about, and Ashley, this is one area that we probably need to have the newsroom continue to check on, and maybe follow our friends up in Kokomo. And it wasn't confirmed at the time, but we started to see a little bit of chatter on Twitter from the Kokomo Scanner account that there were perhaps a couple of buildings that had collapsed. Again, this is something that we're going to have crews look into. We'll make calls to Howard County, but we do want to make sure that that severe threat is now impacting the eastern half of the state, and we've had several areas of damage. We're up to more than 20,000 Duke Energy customers without power, and we're not going to be done with this until about 1 a.m. The good news, we're getting closer to the end of this line of storms, but we still have an hour and a half to go before this completely clears the state. So we're going to do a bit of a reset.
Near 70 mile per hour gust at the international airport.
At the airport,
so,
okay.
I mean, doesn't matter if it's straight line wind or if it's just goes to show you that can do some damage. And we're going to get the power outages are going to really start to ramp up. And oh, by the way, we're going to have high gust, thunderstorm gust tomorrow.
So we say this again, if you can, take a minute while you're sitting watching our coverage or getting ready to go to bed, make sure that cell phone is charged, because we're going to have non-severe thunderstorm wind gusts up over 50 miles per hour during the day tomorrow. All right, as promised, we'll do a reset. Let's go north and pick up where we have a couple of cells that we're monitoring east and northeast of Kokomo, one right over Marion, and then this little cluster that's approaching Hartford City. And let's check the velocities before we push south, just to kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with. Some intensification here with some velocities near Marion, approaching Interstate 69. So let's keep a very close eye on this cell in particular, right over Marion, tracking northeast. So Hartford City, it stays to your north, but Marion, I would be in the safest part of my home, and anywhere north of Hartford City, so northern sections of Blackford County. Go ahead and you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but as we've talked about most of the night, treat these as if they can produce tornadoes, and we have seen that happen. Severe thunderstorm quickly go to a tornado warning, to a confirmed tornado warning in just minutes during our coverage this evening. Okay, let's go south of this line, along the line, and Muncie, threat for a couple of severe storms with what's approaching you from the west into Anderson. Heavy rain right now over Noblesville and Fishers. These storms tracking northeast, so heads up Madison County into Delaware County, including Muncie. And then south, we've got the heavy rain coming out of downtown, headed into the eastern sections of Marion County at this point. And again, we'll check velocities here, and nothing looks overly impressive, although some strong winds Sean mentioned that wind gust almost 70 miles per hour out at the airport in Indianapolis. So potential with this line as it moves into the eastern part of Marion County. So heads up Acton, Castleton, Lawrence, we could be dealing with those wind gusts nearing 70 miles per hour. There are severe thunderstorm warnings along this line. And then we go south to the confirmed tornado warning that is moving across Shelby County at this point. So coming out of Johnson County over Shelby County near the Sugar Creek area. So it is just now crossing I-74. And let's see if we can check the shear detector, which might give us a better idea of what we're dealing with. And we still have these pockets of wind damage potential and or rotation, Sugar Creek back into Needham. So in this area from Needham over towards Shelbyville, approaching Morristown, this is a confirmed tornado warning for you. And then outside of that area is a severe thunderstorm warning, and that confirmed tornado warning goes until midnight. And at this point, that is our only, as far as tornado confirmed and or otherwise, warning at this point. So a little bit of good news. And as we were doing our analysis in advance of this event, one thing we can look at with model data is where we have a significant tornado parameter, and it really looked lower across the eastern part of the state. So Sean, we might be seeing these move into an environment that isn't as conducive to producing tornadoes, but we turn our attention more to that damaging wind threat.
Wind threat will continue. Even that may get minimized here on the far eastern. We knew at some point the atmosphere was going to stabilize enough to lessen the potential of wind and or tornadoes. We just didn't know exactly where it would take place. We always felt the western half of the state would be more of the bullseye. So yeah, so things are, if you live in Marion County, most of which, at least if you live basically downtown and or points west, it's done. The severe show is over. Everything's now on the east side of Marion County, so over Beech Grove, over Lawrence. I suspect we're going to continue perhaps to see some pockets of near 70 mile per hour gust, if not a little bit stronger. I was just checking, unfortunately, in the National Weather Service chat, and we're going to follow this up overnight into sunrise about what's going on in Sullivan. That was with a confirmed tornado, but it sounds like that they're telling CSX down there to stop running trains because of gas leaks.
Oh
possibly.
no!
So that's that, and that was with the big supercell. What's left of it now being ingested into the squall line, which is something we were hoping would happen sooner. It was just moving so fast that it was able to tap into this, tornado producing environment. Based on what I'm seeing out of that cell right now, we're not seeing terribly strong rotation, but we're still seeing some strong wind, and that's why we're still have these pockets on the wind shear where we're, and notice this goes from Nineveh. This is heading towards Shelbyville. So all within what you're seeing on Live Doppler 13 radar, all with all of this is where we can get these near 70 plus mile per hour gusts.
Sounds like you guys are going to be dealing with high winds for a while, from what I'm seeing on all my radars and from this here. So please be careful. Indy Pam, please check in. Are you okay? Jinx, Frank, I'm texting with Andrea. She's okay, but they're still dealing with this weather. Yeah, this system has been intense all day long. Yeah, Ruckus says, please be safe, everybody. So we're going to go back to the broadcast here.
One being Kokomo, the other being Martinsville, and then Sullivan that you mentioned as well, just to survey damage, to make sure everyone's okay, to really see what happened tonight because it's
Yeah.
dark.
And Ange, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
I had this map and I meant to call it up. So this is power outage map here. Now, please understand that we know in Marion County there's power outages. It'll take a little bit for this to fill in, but over 5,000 in Sullivan County. Yeah, give me just a second here.
Yeah, and AES reported almost 500 in Marion County.
Yeah,
without
so
power.
we know that is definitely the case here. So well, it's not behaving for me right now.
Well, you're mentioning though power outages, Sean.
Yeah.
Good thing to keep in mind. It's dark, and if you don't
Yeah.
have to be on the roads, don't, because you're not going to be able to see trees down, power lines down. And if you would come across a power line down, you must treat it as if it is live. So, and that's obviously very difficult to see in the middle of the night when it's dark.
Yeah.
Even at first light tomorrow morning, you're just going to have to be aware that we have a large area with a high impact storm system that looks like it's done a fair amount of damage, and we may still be in that cleanup process. Most likely will be during the day tomorrow.
And Scott Swan just tweeted this out. Thankfully, handed me his phone here. Over 27,000 Duke Energy, near 3,000 Howard, near 3,000 Sullivan, near 5,000 in Johnson County, and over 6,000 in Morgan County. So our map will update. So, but the idea is that you can see. I mean, we're talking, tens, thousands. These numbers are going to climb. We know that for sure. And the game is not over, if you will.
Okay, so while they're talking about power outages, just want to make sure you guys have things that you need. Flashlights, candles. Keep your purses with you, your wallets with you, so that you have your pertinent information, just in case. So far, everybody's okay. I am waiting to hear back from Indy Pam. She said, just heard a tree hit my roof a while ago, so we're waiting to hear an update from her. Andrea says that she thinks the worst is gone now out of Kokomo. Mark, who is in Madison County, said just thunderstorms with lightning and high winds, nothing tornadic yet. So we're just keeping an eye on everybody. Charge your phones, yep. Fill your bathtubs up with some water so you can at least flush the toilets. Let's see what they're saying now.
Really looks like it's going to verify as far as the severe threat ending in the next hour as it is beginning to shift into the eastern part of the state. But we don't want you to let your guard down. Do know, eastern half of the state, we're dealing with, was it 27,000 or up over 30?
Yeah.
As far as power outages go, and over 30,000 power outages at this point. So just be aware that threat is now coming your way with the damaging wind potential of 70 miles per hour, and still that possibility that we could have a quick spin up of a tornado that we've seen what appears to be several times this evening during our coverage from Kokomo to near the Martinsville area and then south to Sullivan. We're going to have several areas we think of damage, and for us to survey and for the National Weather Service to survey as well, figure out, was it straight line wind or tornadoes? But, during our coverage, we talked about this, Sean. It really didn't matter if we were dealing with straight line winds at 70 miles per hour. That's low end tornado strength.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter what does the damage.
And that's what we've tried to stress, and arguably that because it was going to be a line eventually, that straight line would probably impact more areas. It's just, boy, we got that. We got that supercell, and that was the bugaboo, unfortunately. But yeah, so this is estimate of 65 mile per hour gusts there in near Avon. That was from 1140.
I did get a report of a little bit of hail in the Castleton area as that kind of cell moved in eastern Marion County.
Yeah. So and so here come the new thunderstorm warnings. that are now in place going all the way to the Ohio state line. Let's see if we're seeing any enhancement here. We'll use our shear rate product to kind of to pick up on that. Yeah, so that what's crossing 74 there near Shelbyville, that'll put down some damage, unfortunately. That'll knock some trees over.
And Charlie, who we do trust on Twitter, is reporting a row of power poles down along 31, 1 mile north of Franklin, near the Franklin Police Department.
All right, so Charlie, thanks for the info. So basically it's the same complex. It was the supercell that gets sucked up by the squall line. This is what moved through Franklin. And that's what is moving through Shelby County right now. So that'll be enough to do some damage. We'll get additional power poles down, unfortunately. We'll get tree damage out of this.
Okay, so anyone, yeah, Pam, so glad that you're okay. Nobody wants to let a tornado take them out. And yes, Ruckus, this is moving fast. So we're just going to stay gathered here, support one another. Thank you for those who are on here and checking in with me on Facebook. So glad that everyone so far is okay. If you are in these areas where these storms are going to hit, you are next. There's very high winds. As you can see, the flags on the pole are whipping. So we just want everybody to stay safe. Wow. This is crazy. Under severe thunderstorm warning at the moment, but the swell keeps changing. There's a tornado south of here around Bloomington area, and also one near Kokomo heading east. That is coming from Mark Tate. They still have power. Andrea said that she thinks the worst is gone now. So, let's see what everybody's saying here. All the trees in my yard are old or dead. Wow. Yeah, we just want to make sure you're all okay. Let's go back and listen to what they're saying here.
Along Interstate 69 and monitor these storms that are over Hartford City now and approaching Muncie. So here you can see Hartford City and Muncie, Anderson to Pendleton, Fortville. What you see, Muncie approaching you, strongest part where we could end up with some damaging wind gusts at this point. And that really has been what we've been monitoring, the damaging winds and that severe wind potential, 60, 70 miles per hour. And as we put the shear detector on, picking up a few spikes here in that line from Hartford City approaching Muncie. So take shelter, be in the safest part of your home until this storm pushes east of you across Delaware County. And that's as fast as these are moving. It's not going to take very long. These should clear the state in the next half hour or so as they move off to the east, 60, 70 miles per hour. Heads up, Portland, Winchester, Mount Pleasant, and Newcastle. You will be next. Wind damage potential with this line that is approaching Muncie. Let's go south. And here's the area from Knightstown, or just east of Greenfield. So Knightstown, Carthage, Morristown, Shelbyville, approaching Rushville. This little complex does have a history of wind damage, so take this storm seriously. You are under warnings, Rushville, and the storm is 5 minutes away, probably at most. Heads up, Cambridge City and Connorsville, Liberty and Richmond, Economy. As we get into the eastern part of our viewing area, the eastern part of the state, these storms will move your way. Heavy rain, lots of lightning. and the potential for damaging winds. Let's check the shear detector here as well. And again, these little spikes that we're picking up from Knightstown to Carthage to Morristown approaching Rushville indicates where we have that area of potentially damaging winds. And then south we'll go into, we'll pick up the southern extent of this line, pushing now just east of Shelbyville. And that's probably, this area here is most likely the strongest that we're picking up as far as the shear detector goes, and most likely where we have the greatest threat of some damaging winds. And you can see this cluster of storms from Rushville approaching Rushville to just northwest of Hope. There are severe thunderstorm warnings in advance of this complex of storms. And as we've talked about, severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado watch, oftentimes the sirens will sound. That was the case in Marion County as this line of storms moved through with some gusty winds, had a wind gust of almost 70 miles per hour in at the airport in Indianapolis. Some small hail reported on the northeast side of Marion County into the Castleton area. I did get a picture of a carport that was basically just came down. And I tweeted back at him to ask for his location, but didn't get back to me. But okay, so we're getting some new information out of Johnson County. This is going to be near the new Whiteland and Whiteland area. Ashley, our producer that's been in the booth all night long, kind of communicating with the counties and the newsroom, where we have several people, in fact, on the desk gathering information that we've got some buildings or homes perhaps collapsed and perhaps some people trapped and can't get to them because of power lines down. And we did share that report from our friend Charlie on Twitter that basically said near the Franklin area, there were power lines like down over roads near the police department there. So this is the Johnson County area south of Indianapolis. This was the storm that we basically tracked from Sullivan into Martinsville, into Johnson County, and now it appears perhaps we're going to have another area to survey during the day tomorrow. And
okay, everybody, I'm muting this just for a minute. So Frank is okay. I've just been told that Tipton, Indiana, has been hit hard, and emergency crews are out on runs. So you know, we've definitely got some damage in areas of people that that are subscribers, members. I'm just glad that so far everybody is okay. So Chrissy's in Tennessee. They're getting tornadic rotation heading their way. Yes. You know, this is all going to move through. Miss Thing says just blew through Speedway, Indiana. I think we're done now. Purdue says, I think we're through the worst of it in Kokomo. Andrea was just saying the same thing. So far, everyone that we have been watching and noticing in here is okay. And like I said, I'm still getting reports through text messages, Facebook. So keeping track of everybody and making sure everybody's okay. I hope everybody in Tipton, Indiana is okay. I've just been told that they got hit really, really hard. I'm sure in the morning there's going to be lots of pictures to share. Frank lost power for a while. He said he's good now. That it's calm. I'm gonna ask if his power came on. So like you said, we're just keeping everybody in our thoughts and our prayers as this weather goes through. And I know that more of our members and subscribers are getting hit in other states also. Yes, we have 12 inches of snow coming. It's already been raining here, sleeting, hailing, and it's now turning to snow. So, Purdue says we lost some farm buildings in Reynolds. I've heard that. Jinx, I hope you don't have to stay in that bathtub all night. Okay, so Frank does have power. It went out, and it was out for about 2 minutes, and then it came back on. So we know that he's safe. We know that Andrea is safe. Everybody on here so far has been safe. We've had a limb fall on Indy Pam's house, but she's okay. Other areas like myself are getting snow when all this is going on. Jinx, I might be too drunk to get out at this point. Okay, then just sleep in the bathtub. You're good. So yes, like I said, I'm getting reports like crazy here. So thank you all for joining us, making sure that everybody is safe and just watching this together. It should be out of Indiana, she said, in about a half an hour, which was probably about 5 to 7 minutes ago. So you shouldn't have that long to wait. And then we just have to keep track of other areas. And pray that everyone else is safe tonight. So far, we don't know if there was a tornado in Kokomo or Marion County yet. We do know that there's damage in those two areas. There was very high winds. So, like I said, just praying that everybody's okay and they continue to be okay throughout the night. Let's see what she's saying here.
And most likely, we're going to have several areas of cleanup tomorrow, whether they be from tornadoes or straight line wind damage. And we had cautioned you that those individual cells would have the best chance. They'd be in that environment where they could continue to produce a tornado. And in fact, it looked like that did happen from Sullivan, impacting the Ellettsville, Martinsville area into parts of Johnson County. And then as it got swept up into the line. And we also mentioned that as this line picked up forward speed, it would increase that wind damage threat. And unfortunately, it looks like that has happened across a good part of central Indiana. I do want to show you where we still have warnings. It's the eastern part of our viewing area now. So we're into Hartford City. That severe threat Hartford City is ending for you as this line approaches Portland, Winchester, and Mount Pleasant now. Heavy rain right now, at times raining sideways because of the strong winds, Muncie, for you. And these storms are moving off to the east. We've got a cell over Newcastle now. That's going to start to make its way into Wayne County. So Economy, Richmond, heads up, that's going to move your way. Let's check that shear detector, and we're getting these little spikes. Nothing that really stands out at this point, but we do still have severe thunderstorm warnings going for Portland and Winchester, south to Newcastle. And then highlighted here, let's go south and we'll show you the tornado warning for this pocket here. That is a tornado warning that goes until 12:45 for the small area north of Rushville. So just south of Spiceland and Knightstown, just east of Carthage, tornado warning until 12:45. Let's check velocities here too. So nothing really completely standing out, but perhaps a few pockets of rotation and that potential for some damaging winds in the area in Rush County, just north of Rushville at this point. An intense storm moving through now. Heads up Connorsville, Columbia, eventually Liberty, Abington, Cambridge City. These storms are moving your way in the next half hour or so. Let's go south along the line. We have severe thunderstorm warnings for you, Greensburg, Adams, back through Hope, not under a warning, but we do have some heavy rain in that area, into Columbus, into Bartholomew County. And again, these storms are all tracking off to the north and east, 60, 70 miles per hour. So they should clear the state here in the next half hour, 45 minutes. I was watching some additional storms here back toward the Bedford area. And just want to check these. That severe threat will be diminishing and ending rather rapidly as we transition really into the cleanup phase of this powerful storm system that impacted everyone from Iowa to Arkansas. And now central Indiana, unfortunately, is going to have most likely several areas of cleanup to do during the day tomorrow. So make sure that if you come across power lines or trees over the road, find another way to go. We need to make sure we get emergency crews into where they need to go. And if you do have to travel in the dark, that's very, very difficult to see. So just be prepared. We're going to have several areas of cleanup and damage, unfortunately, due to tonight's storms. The piece of good news, this is going to end pretty rapidly here, Sean, in the next half hour, 45 minutes.
And I apologize. I was doing multiple things. So
that's okay. I don't even have to go to you. I can keep talking.
If you mentioned the new tornado warning, I do apologize.
I did. That's okay.
Okay. Also, I want to talk about.
It just looked a little disorganized. I couldn't really see any significant area in that.
It's
kind of small. And
it is a very small. It looks like it's in between Carthage and Rushville.
Yeah.
Perhaps. So that warning goes until 12:45. Let's make sure. So yeah, you can see it right there. So it's a small tornado warning polygon within.
All right, everybody. Much love and prayers to all. You got it. I'm hoping that all of your areas are settling down now and that things are going well. Everybody's safe that we know of. So that's good. Just be careful because I hear that the high winds can stick around for a little bit. My husband is on the truck in Arkansas. He says bad. Yeah. I was watching some videos of Arkansas. I know that there's 3 pronounced deceased, and a lot of injuries in that area. So Little Rock did get hit extremely hard. So it's been a crazy day. Yeah, they declared a state of emergency in Arkansas. Yeah. So, just wanted to let you all know I'm going to drop some links in here. These are of channels that I watch on a daily basis. So I just got to find them here. Okay, so we've got where is Ryan? So all of you know Reed Timmer, right? He's one that I watch very closely. There's all kinds of weather ones. Let's see here. So here's one. I'm going to drop his link. He's very good at covering weather for all states. This is Ryan Hall. If you don't know who Reed Timmer is, check him out. He's another one that I watch. I'm going to drop his link in here. And then I've got so many people that I'm subscribed to. It's not even funny. Here we go. Storm Chaser Brandon. He's another one that I watch. So there's 3 places that you can get different information on storms. Thank you. Yes. So, yes, please make sure that you check in with us tomorrow. And I'm going to end this here and go and check to see how bad it's snowing by me. I think we're getting freezing rain and snow right now, a mixture of both. But thank you all for joining me to make sure that everybody was okay. Thank you to everyone who's been checking in with me. Yes, Ryan Hall is a go-to, definitely. So, I hope everyone has a good night and stay safe. We love you, and we just want to know you're okay. So check in with us in the morning, either on, I put a message on the community page, I put a message in the Facebook group, and I'll also put one in Discord so that you can check in and just let us know that everybody's okay. So be safe all, and thank you for joining me. Oh, absolutely, Indie Pam. Yeah, they'll be shoveling. I think more tomorrow night than anything. So, all right, one love, everybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.